Let's do it now. See, let's go to market. Now let's try. See, creating HTML element using JavaScript. This is also a very important concept because literally we have to do it when it comes to when we comes to make an application dynamic, when it comes to do different stuffs using this using this JavaScript. This is important to learn that we can also create HTML elements using JavaScript. For example, let me just show it to you, this thing. Let's say I want to create a, let's say I want to create a paragraph. Okay, you can see inside HTML there is no paragraph here. There is only one tag, that is h1. Let me just start a variable called as para and do document dot create. We have something called as create element. Put this bracket and decide what you want to create. A audio tag, h1, h2, whatever you want you can create, but as of now I'm just creating a p tag. Okay, I've just created a p tag now. Okay, this is one thing. See, p tag is created now, but I have to insert this p tag inside this div, inside this div we have here. Okay, so what I can do is, first of all I can select this div inside JavaScript. How will I select the div? You can use query selector, or you can use, you can add an ID, you can select that way also. Let me just select this div in a simple way. Div equals to document dot query selector. I'm selecting div. See, I've selected the div. Let me just check if the div is selected using this log. See, the div is selected. Inside the div I have h1. Okay, so the div is selected now. So inside div I want to insert this paragraph. Say I've created a paragraph tag here. I want to insert this paragraph inside div. Okay, so let's see if this works out. Div dot, we have something called as now see here, the div is created. We already have the div. Now inside this div we have to append this paragraph. Okay, or we need to insert this paragraph here. Okay, we have a method called as append. Let me just select this div and do append. We have a method called as append. Okay, open this brackets, and I want to insert paragraph inside this div. I just use paragraph. Let's see if this is happening. Let me just log div now and check if the paragraph is inserted. Save. Yeah, see guys, we have a div, we have h1, and we have paragraph also inserted here. Okay, hope you guys have understood this. Let me know any doubts, any questions here. If you people have any hope you people have understood this part, how I created element and how I inserted inside JavaScript. I know I can directly create, instead of making this much of big code, I can just directly create here itself p tag and I can start. But this is much more useful. I'll tell you the reason for this one later. But yeah, let me know if you guys have understood how to create elements inside using JavaScript and put it inside a HTML. If not, type N. I'll explain you once again. That would help you if you want. Yes. Thank you, Sajid, Aisha. Okay. Okay, I'll explain you once again. Look at this carefully. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to create a paragraph. Okay. So let me just start a variable called as para, or it can be anything. It can be para, it can be whatever you want. Just for convenience I'm using para. So what to create to create an element, I want to create a, I have here h1 tag, but I want one more tag called as paragraph tag. I can do it here itself called no p. I can create it like this, but I don't want to do it like this here. I want to do it inside JavaScript. Okay. So how I can do is document dot create element. We have something called as document dot create element, and here I can open this brackets. I can tell which element I want to create. I want to create paragraph tag. So I'll just enter P. Okay. So the paragraph tag is created here. So I want to insert the paragraph inside div. I want to append this. Okay. I want to append the paragraph inside this div. Okay. So how do I do that? First thing is to insert, to append something inside this div, I will have to select this div, right? Let me just select this div first. I've created a variable called as div. I'll do document dot query selector. I have selected the div now. See, I've selected the div. If the div is selected or not, I can do console log and I can check if the div is selected or not. See, the div is selected. Div has h1. Okay. Now I want to insert. Okay, let this be like this itself. Now I want to insert this paragraph inside this div. Okay, simple way, or append this paragraph inside this div. Insert or append, both the same meaning. So let me just do this. Div dot append. Okay. Okay, which one? Inside div I'm appending this paragraph that I have created here. So I'll just put this called para. I'll just save this. Now if I just do log div, yeah, now if you guys can see here, okay, now if you guys can see here, see, I have a div. Okay, let me just remove this. Before there was no paragraph here, but now you guys can see there is a paragraph. See, h1 and paragraph, and this paragraph is not here. Guys understood how to create a paragraph inside using JavaScript and append or insert inside HTML?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so guys, let's get started. Let's move forward. Okay. So today we will be doing much more greater things. Okay, so what we would do is, okay, see, if I want to write something here, if I want to write something inside this paragraph also now, so what I can do is, before I'm putting this paragraph inside div, I can write anything inside this paragraph using dot inner text equal to let's start the class. See, I've added the paragraph text using JavaScript itself. Okay, this is one way. Okay, let's move forward. Let's learn something new now. There is something called as input tag. Everybody knows this. What is input tag? Okay, I have the input tag called as text. Okay, I'll give the name as user input. ID also I'll give it as user input. I'll just save this. See, I have this tag. Okay, beside this I'll give a button also. I'll create one button. Create a button called as add, or I'll just make it click. Let's make this much more convenient. Okay, so that I can type anything here inside my application. I can type anything I want. Let me just lower this down. I can type anything I want here. Okay, so what I want to do is, whatever I type here, if I just click this one, the no, the whatever I'm typing here, that should be reflect here. Okay, that I can do in two ways. Okay, first thing is, just remove this part. Okay, first thing is, what I can do is I can create a paragraph here, paragraph, and I can give an ID here. This display, display. Okay, I've just I've just created the display paragraph called as display and given an ID as display. Okay, there is nothing inside a paragraph now. So what I'll do is I'll just create whatever the user types here, I'll collect his data from here and I'll put it inside a paragraph. Simple thing. What I will do is I'll select both the things now. First thing is I'll just select this paragraph. Okay, I have an ID here. I'll select it through ID. Let para equal to document dot get element by ID. I'm getting by its ID, and let me just select this ID called display. So I've selected the paragraph now. As of now, nothing there in the paragraph, so I don't want also. Now let me access this value. Let's say I'm entering something here. Okay, let me access this value. Okay, let's see how to access this one. We also have a ID called as, here also we have an ID called as user input. I can select with this also. Let user input equal to document dot get element by ID, and ID I have it here. I'll just save. Guys, let me know till now if you people have understood this part. This is, I've just selected the paragraph with the ID display, and then I have selected the user input with the ID user input. So what I have did is, okay, so what I have did is I have a paragraph here with an ID display. So I'm selecting this paragraph inside JavaScript. Okay, using the ID that has that paragraph has an ID called display. Okay, I'm selecting paragraph using this ID here, document dot get element by ID display. Okay, then I'm selecting user input that has user input ID. Okay, I'm selecting this user input, no, this field I'm selecting. Okay, you again using document dot get element by ID user input. You understood this? Okay. Okay, hey guys, thank you for confirmation. So let's move forward. So what I would do is, so whenever I type something here, if I click on this button, if I click on this button, it should, whatever there here, it should go inside paragraph. Okay. So first thing is, let me just create a function. It should be a function, right? A function. Add to function name can be anything. You guys know that. Okay. So here, what I would do is, first thing what I have to do is, I just want this one, whatever the user is inputting, this input I want, this is a value, this value I want. So this is an input's value I want. So I'll just select the value. I've selected the input here, right? User input, this user input dot value. So this is the value here. Okay, that this value I want to insert it inside paragraph. So I'll call this paragraph is dot inner text equal to this one, whatever I'm getting a user input, whatever he's entering here, user input dot value, because this is a value, right? This is an input that I'm getting here, but this is a value here, whatever he's entering. The value is important. I'll just do save. Now I have to call this inside a button. This function I have to call this inside a button. Let's see if this works out. not the right way to come. On click save. Let's see if this works out. And let's say I'm typing sharp with Haadi. Okay, if I just click on this one, see, it has added a text. Okay, guys, let me know if you people have understood this part. Type yes. Superb. Thank you, Aisha, for the information. Yes, guys, just try doing this one. After this, we will be moving to a project. Just practice this, whatever we have did today. Okay. So, guys, what you would do is, what you would do is, don't create this paragraph inside HTML here. Create this paragraph inside JavaScript and then insert it inside HTML. Shall we do this? Just try doing this one. Let me know if you guys need any help. Okay, simple thing to create a paragraph. To create para, we need a tag called as document dot. Put it inside a variable. And you need a tag called as document dot create element, and you can put it here whatever the paragraph you want. Let's say I want to create a paragraph. I have mentioned here, and you can use append method. Dot append. You can use append method. Okay, if you want to insert a paragraph inside a div, you can use append. Select the div dot append. Try doing this one and share me the screenshot, people. So see, instead of creating this function here and then calling it inside a button, putting here on click and then calling it inside a button, that's a different thing. Okay, what if I want to assign 2 to 3 functions to a button, 2 to 3 event listeners to buttons? On click also I want. On click I want 2 functions. Then I want on blur. Then I want on hover, on mouse over, this and all. Okay, I won't be able to do that. So that is why we have something called as event listeners. Let me just select this button first. Let me just select this button. Select the button. What I can do is let btn equals to document dot query selector, that is button. So I've selected the button here. So what I can do is to assign event listener to add an event listener to this button. What I can do is just btn dot add event listener. We have something called as add event listener. Okay, just open this brackets. Here 2 things goes. First is the name of the event listener that you want to add. Let's say I want to add on click. Instead of using on click, I can just type click here. Okay, if I'm calling it here inside HTML, I should type on click. Okay, but if when I'm doing it here inside JavaScript, I can just type JavaScript. I can just type click here. Click. Okay, this is one thing. First thing is the name of the event listener I want to assign. It can be on mouse over. It can be mouse over also. Okay, it can be mouse over. As of now, I'm just going for click. Okay, just give comma, and then what function we are assigning here. If I'm doing on click here, see, if I'm doing on click, then I would have to pass in the function also here, right? So instead of doing this one, I've mentioned this is an on click. On click means I just have to right click, and what function I'm assigning here. I'm calling this function. Okay, I just have to type the name of the function. That's it. Now also it would work in the same way. Let's say I just click here. Inner text is not defined. Let me just refresh and check once. Okay. Okay, I have removed the paragraph from here. That is why it is not showing. ID called display. See, still it is working. So here I don't have to use inside button. I don't have to use on click directly. I've selected a button inside JavaScript and added an event listener to that button. So first thing what I would do is just save this. Just save this also. And remove this paragraph from here. Okay. Let this be inside of div element. I'll create one more div with an ID called as task count. Okay, this will contain our tasks and everything. Okay, then I'll create a ul, not u, but I'll create ul. Okay, and I'll give this ul id called as task list. Okay, so inside this ul I have nothing. I just have a div called task container called task count, and I have a ul. Okay, that says task list, and I'll create input so that a user can give his input. Just remove this. Okay, I'll collect user input here. User input called text, and I'll give a button here called as add task. Okay, see guys, I have did this much. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's proceed. Okay, doing entirely from the beginning. Okay, so what I would do is anything. So what I want is anything user comes here, if he's clicking on add task, what should happen is there should be a list, to do list should get created here. Let's see how to do that. First thing what I would do is let me just select this ul. Okay,
Shahid, what's the abbreviation for UL? What does
ul
UL mean?
ul is unordered list. You learn this last classes. Let ul equals to let task list equal to document dot get element by id called task list. So I've selected the ul tag. Now inside ul I have to insert a list tags. So let me just create a list tag here. Okay, let me just not create a list tag here itself. Let's see what I can do much better way. Okay, let me just, I've selected the ul tag, and let me just select this one also. Let me just select the button, and let me just select this also. Let me just select the input. Let's see if the input has the id. I'll add the id here. Id called user input. I've given a user input. Let user input equals to document dot get element by id. Get element by id, and that id is user input. Okay, so I'll also select a button now. Here our main thing starts. Let me just select a button. Let btn add btn equal to document dot dot query selector, not query selector, I think I'd give ID to this button, or no, not needed. Okay, let's not give ID. Let's see. Later on, it needed we make changes. See, I've selected the button. I've selected, first thing what I have did is I've selected the UL that we have it here. Then second thing what I have did is I've selected the user input that we have it here. Then I have selected the button also. Let me assign a event listener to this button. So add btn dot add event listener, add event listener. The event listener is click, and I'll create a function here itself. Okay, here I have to give comma. I've created a function here itself. Okay, so inside this function what I will do is every time the user is typing something here, I would take that data and I will put it inside a list. For that I would have to create a list item also. Let li equals to document dot create element called li. I'm creating a list here. Okay. Simple thing. I've just created a list here. I have not done anything else. Okay, now our task starts. I need to take the value from here. I need to insert it inside a list. Okay, simple thing. Let's see. Let li equal to li dot no li dot inner text equal to, this is the value we are getting from user input dot value. Okay, let's see if this is working on. Yeah, if I'm just typing something here, if I'm just clicking here, okay, nothing is happening. Okay, so nothing happening here even if I'm clicking. The thing is, what I have not did is I've created a list item, and I'm whatever it's whatever I'm getting here, I am putting inside a list item also, but I'm not displaying a list item here. So what I would do is I have to insert this list. First thing is I'm inserting the user input inside a list, and I have to insert this list inside this task list, that is ul inside ul. So task list dot append whatever the li I have generated. Let's see if this works on. Okay, go to market. See, this is working. And let me add something else. Go to gym. I'm just making to-do list here. Go to gym. See, even this is working. Okay, guys, so let's move forward. Let's make it much more interesting now. Let's see, I'm typing here. First thing is I'll go to market, then I'll go to gym, then I'll attend the class. Okay, see, I'm attending the class here, but still, even after I'm moving, I'm moving the text from here to here, the text is still here, it is displaying. So what I would do here is I would make this value, this value as an empty string. Okay, user input equal to empty string, so that after entering the text here, it should become empty. Okay, let me just save this. Let's try now. Go to gem. See, this has become empty now. Before that was not a case. Go to market. Got it. Okay, guys, we have created a simple to-do list Right. So guys, to explain you this part, this is a bit more important thing. Okay. There is something called as parent-child relation inside uh, inside JavaScript, inside HTML, okay, inside this entire DOM thing, we have something called as parent-child relation. Literally very important concept. Okay, let's see. Let's say uh, I have this div here. Div is a parent element. Div is a parent element for h1 and this div. Okay, div is a parent element for h1. This div is a parent for this h1 and this div. Okay, and this h1 is a h1 and div is a child for these are two childs for this div element. Okay, and this ul h1, obviously this h1 and div, these both are siblings now, brother and brother, sister and sister, whatever you want to give, but these both are siblings. Okay, because these both are in the same position here, both are inside one div element, so these both are siblings. Let me know if you guys think what is the parent element for this div. What is the parent element for this div?
Body.
Body.
Okay, amazing people, we have cracked it out. So body is the parent element for this tab, and body is the highest element. After this we have window also, but for this HTML concept, body is the highest parent element that we can see. Okay, if you have understood this, I don't have to explain anything else. This is much more enough. Okay, see here. One more thing is, just a minute. But yeah, I'm in class. I'll call you back. Okay, so one more thing is, see, if I'm deleting this parent element, okay, entire along with this parent element, all the child element will also get deleted. Okay, if I'm deleting this child element, inside this child element there is no other grandchildren element, so nothing will happen to this one for h1. If I'm deleting this div, all the child element inside this div elements will also get deleted. Okay, guys, understood this part? Simple and
Yes, sir.
thank you, Sajid. Thank you, Aisha. Let's move forward. I just close it off very soon. I just want to make it fully fledged application, and this is an inspiration from free code camp also. I saw this very long back there. So okay, let's move forward. So I'm inserting a list here. Along with list, I want to insert a button also here. Okay, so that whenever I click on that button, this list item should get deleted. Okay, let's see how I can do that. So first thing what I would do is I'll create a div tag so that I can insert this list item and button together inside that div itself. Okay, so let me just create a div first. Let div let div equal to div document dot create element. We're going to create element. Which element I want to create? Div element. Okay, so what I would do is okay, I'm inserting this list inside div. Then I'll insert this div inside this one. Okay, so first thing what I will do is I'll insert this. I'll create one more button also. Let btn equal to document dot create element called button. I have this button. Okay, so what I would do is I'll insert this list and this button inside this div. Then I'll insert this div inside this UL list. Okay, let's do this. So first thing what I would do is I would insert this list item inside this div. Okay, I've inserted a list item inside div. I'll also insert a button tag insert div now. Append btn. Okay, see, first thing what I did is I inserted a list inside div. Now I'm inserting button also inside div. Now instead of putting this div, so inside this task list I'm inserting the div, because div already has this button and list, right? So I'm putting this div inside task list. Just put this div here, save. Let's see if this works on. Click, see, I have this one inside. If I see this element tags, you guys would be able to see this one. Where is it here? Okay, let's not make it complicated. Okay, inside elements, you guys would be able to see that. So inside elements, you guys would be able to see that I have a div inside this div. I have this div inside this UL. You guys can see there is a div inside this div. I have a list and I have a button. Okay, so for this list and button, this is a parent tag. Okay, so hopefully you people have understood till now. Okay, so guys, why do you think why do you think the button is coming like this? There's nothing on the middle. It's coming like this. Any idea? Because
we okay.
yeah, yes, Sajid.
But inside the list, na, so inside the list it's taking the size and then it's getting shrink because it's inside the list. So I guess.
Yeah, that can be the reason, because the list size is small. Another thing is I have not given any text inside a button. See, I have created a button here. There is a text inside the button, right? But here I have not given any text inside a button. If you see here, there is no text inside a button. I've just created a button. So let me add a text inside button. Dot inner text equal to add task. Save. Let's try now. See, I'm getting add task. So it should not be add task, actually it should be remove, because, or it should be delete. See, I have a button called delete now. Okay, this is one thing I have did. Now simple thing, whenever I click on this button, this thing should get deleted. This particular thing, this thing should get deleted. Let's do that. Remove that. Let's move forward. Okay, so what I would do is I would just select a button and add an event listener. Event listener would be click. event listener would be click event. Why am I getting this? Okay, instead of doing it here itself, okay, let's do it here. I'll do it here, but later on I'll do. I do add a function to that one. btn dot add event listener to click, and I'll add a function here called as delete task. I've added a function here. Okay, this should be delete task. Should be a function, and I'll create this function outside. So delete task function, or I can create here itself the function like how I did one. That one also I can do it here itself. Okay, function called delete task. So what this function have to do is, first thing is I should write e here, because event. So let's say I'm just selecting this. I just have to click. I'm just clicking on this button. I have some more list here. Let's say let's go to market. Okay. Let's say I'm clicking on this button. Even this is getting deleted. Let's say I'm clicking on this button. Even this is getting deleted. This should not happen. Okay, if I'm clicking on this button, only this element should get deleted. Okay, and that should happen only through that particular event. Okay, to capture that event, I'm using here e. Even e is nothing but event. E is nothing but event here. Let me create a variable called as let target equals to e dot target, which means whichever the particular button we are clicking, only that button should get selected. Okay, so now what I'll do is target dot okay, very simple target dot parent element dot remove. We have this one. First thing what I have to do here is I've just selected whatever the target element is. Let's say this is a this is a target element. I'm clicking on here. I'm clicking here. This is a target element. So this target element has a parent element. We have seen that one. That is a div. Inside div we have this list item and we have this button. Okay. If I'm clicking this, this is a target element. This has a parent element. I'm selecting the parent element. I'm removing that parent element. I told you if I'm removing the parent element, all the inside elements will also the child elements will get deleted. Same thing I'm trying to do here. Let's see if this works out. See, Shahid, this is not working. Let's see what's the mistake here. Let me just save this also. Right, okay, target is undefined. Let's see. Okay, delete task. Okay, let's do it here also. I have not one thing. Let's see this part. Okay, let me add this function here itself instead of putting it here. Let me add this function there itself instead of putting outside. Create the function here itself. Function e, remove this thing. I'll remove this also. Let's try this part. See, yeah, this is working now. The function here, because this is a, I believe this is a local variable that we are trying to access here. btn is a local variable, but I'm trying to access it outside again, creating a function for that. That may be the case, or some other issue, but this is working for us. Let's see, I have a button along with it. Let's go to market. I have one more button. Let me join gym. This is one more task. If I'm clicking this one, it should get deleted. See, that got deleted. If I'm clicking this one, it should get deleted. See, that got deleted. Okay, finally this one, this got deleted. Guys, understood till here? Whatever we did? Any doubts, any confusion? What I would do is, for this div, you guys know how to create IDs from here itself, right? Let me just add an ID to this div, especially to this div dot set attribute. I'm just setting an ID here. ID called as task. Okay. So I've just selected this div because this button and the this one button and the list is inside a div. This div. So I've just selected this div, added an ID to it. I just save this. And let's just select this ID inside this one and style the same. There should be something that is visible here. See. So what I'll do is I'll give a background color. Set it an attribute to div. I don't know if that is working or not. Let me just check this part. If the ID is assigned to the div or not. Let me just check here. Inside body, we have div, we have div, inside UL. Inside UL we have a disk, we have this one ID, this task. Okay. I've given a background color. I'll give a bit of padding, let's say 5 pixels. I'll make it white. Yeah, I've got the padding of 5 pixels. 5 pixels is not enough. Let me make 10 pixels. I've given 10 pixels now. So what I'll do is, so instead of doing it for the div, I think I can do it for the entire list. Or no, list is also a part of it. Okay, so what I'll do is display flex, so that the button is adjacent to it one. Display flex. So amazing. Okay, let's do justify content space between. Okay, this is amazing. Not space between, I'll give space evenly. This is looking amazing, literally amazing. For me at least it is looking good. Okay, so yeah, I've styled it now. This thing also I'll style later on. You guys can style this thing also and bring it in center, make it look much more better. Okay, so I don't want this button to be here. Instead of button, let's make it an icon. Okay, trash bin icon. So what I can do is, we have something called as bootstrap that we studied during our CSS class. Okay, inside bootstrap we have something called as icon section. Just go to icon section. If you scroll down here, I think it's in the bottom. Just go to top again. Okay, if you just click on install here, it will take you to the section. You can just copy this link and put it inside your HTML page. above your CSS style. CSS style, if your CSS style is here, put it above that. I've just put it this one. I'll just save. Now I can select whichever the icon I have. N number of icons we have inside Bootstraps, people. You can see here. N number of icons we have. So I'll select bin. I can call bin. I'll select trash. Okay. Amazing. This trash bin is looking good. Even this trash bin is looking good. I'll select this one. Just copy this. Okay, and I just have to copy this code. I just have to copy this and insert it here. So instead of doing a button text, where is the button text? This is a button, and this is a button inner text. Instead of doing this button inner text delete, I'll insert this text called icon. Yeah, I'll just open this single quotations. Guys, this should be a single quotation. This should always be a single quotation, because inside also we have this double quotation. This is also escaping part literally. Okay, just save. Yes. Now let's see. Yes. Oh, this is coming like this, literally ugly. It should not be like, okay, it's going as a text on the button. That is why it is happening like this. Let me make it inner HTML. Amazing. See guys, I've got this delete button here. I can go fresh fish in market, enter. I've got one more list. Let me join JS class. I've got one more item. See, isn't this amazing? And this should be like space around was good, I believe, because I want everything to be in one line. Space between was space round. Let's see this one. Nah, space between was okay. Space between is amazing. Later on I'll give this, there is a padding here, I'll give that padding also. Okay, so guys, sorry I'm taking much more time because I just want to wind it up, so I'll just wind it up now. Okay, I can, if I click on button, functionality is always working. Okay, so this is not happening here, this is not deleting, maybe because this is not happening here because we have got one more parent element. I think that is the reason it's happening like this. Let me just explain to you now. Okay, so before we were having button and paragraph inserted inside. Let me just explain you here. See, before we were having it like that, you know, for button and paragraph. For button and paragraph, this was a div element, but now you can see we have this trash bin also here itself on the button tag. First we have a trash bin. For trash bin, button is a parent tag, and for button the parent tag is the div tag. Understood, guys? Let me just close this thing. So what I can do to fix this is parent element, first parent element I'm selecting, I'll go one step above, again I'll select the parent. So first parent element I have selected, that is button. Second parent element also I'm selecting, that is div, and I'm removing both. Let's do it now. See, let's go to market. Now let's try. See, it's deleted. This would get deleted. So guys, this is what the task for the day for you people is. So what you people would do is, you people would do exactly the same thing. Make this look much more beautiful if you want. Give a background color. Make this also input, and this also looks better. Okay, just do this. Just do this and try making it better. Yeah. And this is a project, guys. This is literally important. So this is a project. You cannot miss this. Try doing exactly the same thing and look. Make it look much more better, much more greater. If you're adding new features, you can directly able to explain it inside your interviews also. So these are all things we have to